Hello, my name is Isha Nagaradi, and my project is called TalkToMe, an application that detects and handles suicidal situations on social media through machine learning. Now, starting off with some background research, as Merriam-Webster Dictionary states, suicide is the act of taking one's own life on purpose. However, in truth, it's actually a lot more complex than this because suicide has 5 main levels of risk. Now, it's really important that we acknowledge that suicide is a spectrum because the level of risk corresponds to the level of action that should be taken. If these two don't correspond with one another, then oftentimes the situation can get worse. Taking this into consideration, social media completely disregards it. For example, when you report a tweet as suicidal on Twitter, the first thing that Twitter does is that they lock this potentially suicidal person's account. Now, this is extremely detrimental no matter where this person is on the spectrum, because by locking a person's account, you are telling them that they shouldn't reach out in the future. And if they do reach out, they will be punished. Therefore, in the future, this person won't be able to get the help that they need. Now, in order to combat this, I created TalkToMe with the following tools and technologies. I use Swift and Python for programming languages, database core data. I also use the model integration technology Core ML and the IDEs Xcode and Google Colab. The target audience for this entire application is the general population, and more specifically, social media users, friends and families of potentially suicidal people, a suicidal person, and volunteers at crisis centers. Now let's move on to the demo of this application. When you first open TalkToMe, you see a quick disclaimer, and then if you tap on the text box, you can enter in the text of your own. In addition to this, you can also upload a screenshot and convert it to text. After this, if you press continue, the machine learning model will determine whether it is likely that this person is talking about suicide or is not talking about suicide based on your input. You can also determine the level of risk by filling out a series of questions called the risk form. For example, if you were to type yes, no, no, then a low-medium risk of ideation will be outputted. If you click more info and next steps, it'll tell you what this means, how you can help, and give you 2 options. If you were to click how to act as a suicidal caregiver, it'll tell you how to have a really meaningful, informative, and educative conversation with this potentially suicidal person so that you make sure that you are helping the situation rather than hurting it. In addition to this, another option is calling the hotline. Now, if you fill out the risk form differently, for example, yes, yes, no, it'll be a medium risk, and the only option is calling a suicidal hotline. Finally, if you fill out the risk form of yes, 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 the only option is high risk and attempt, and therefore you can only call 911. Now, moving on to the machine learning aspect of this entire project, I decided to create 5 different models, and I finally chose the support vector machine model to implement in the application because it had the highest accuracy of 92% on the training and validation set. Finally, moving on to my next steps, I hope to increase the accuracy of my application further by incorporating transformer models, which is related to generative AI. In addition to this, I hope to obtain a patent, publish the App Store, and also partner with a lot of organizations that have been really interested in implementing TalkToMe. Thank you.